last four. Four was the last one. Okay. Count 5, life imprisonment. Parole eligibility to be 70 years after the inception of that sentence to be consecutive to count 4.
Before they were met with such fates, they were children. Children who longed to be loved, to make friends, and to belong. It's an innate human desire to want this, to want to connect. Even within friends and family, people seek belonging, and the feeling of isolation that may arise as a result of not belonging is crucial to understanding why people are shaped into the individual they are, as there are consequences that arise when a human cannot find companionship and connect with others. Lack of nurture in a person's younger years results in isolation that leads to individuals in society to lose the ability to connect with others, causing them to turn to mannerisms that produce criminals. It can be said that the result of isolation in society are criminals, leading individuals to go down a path shaped by the absence of belonging. The repercussions of isolation demand an answer to the question, how does the human desire to belong, and how does isolation affect a person's sense of identity and their behavior? John Locke's theory on nurture versus nature compares the mind at birth to a tabula rasa, a blank slate. He concludes that it is the nurture aspect, the child's environment and experiences, that determines who a child grows up to be. A report published by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine validates John Locke's claim, stating that informed parents are more likely to have positive interactions with their children in ways that support healthy development. Showing warmth, being responsive, and promoting other loving practices, parents can improve outcomes relating to their child's emotional, behavioral, cognitive, and social skills. In contrast, children can experience devastating long-term changes as a result of neglect, such as the development of antisocial behaviors to the stunting of their growing minds. Put simply, these individuals that were forced to be isolated become what society brands as monsters. Monsters are not born, they are created, and this is one of the main ideas of Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein. Victor, a scientist, creates the monster in order to find a way to conquer death and renew life. Unfortunately, in working to achieve his goal, he creates a horrifying amalgamation and therefore abandons his own creation to fend for itself. The monster says, "No father watched my infant days, no mother had blessed me with smiles." He wasn't loved, and he was outcasted by society for the way he looked. Even so, the monster tried to fit in and was benevolent and good, but eventually misery made him a fiend. He was isolated and he didn't belong. This is what caused him to promise Victor that he will glut the maw of death until it be satiated with the blood of your remaining friends, which is what he did when he murdered everyone Victor loved, his brother, his wife, and his best friend. It was the way the monster was nurtured that caused him to turn into a killer. The foundation for his identity was built from his belief that he wasn't welcome in society and that no one would want to create a connection with him. His identity, his behavior, all came to be because he was nurtured in a harsh and marginalizing environment. He became the monster because the monster was all the world allowed him to be. Without a community to support, guide, and love, an individual can succumb to the darkness of isolation and become what society has categorized as criminals. There is no doubt that their actions are heinous, but the reasons for a person to have taken a life reveals how the human desire to connect, left unchecked, can result in a person to lose sense of who they are. When belonging is no longer an option because of the conditions around them, the individual, once wanting love and inclusivity, is consumed by resentment and anger. Over time, these emotions build up and distort the person's views on the world around them and the morals that were once rooted in who they were. The void left by the absence of warmth results in the cruel actions society condemns. The lack of nurture does not excuse their crimes, but in the end, it depicts the reality of what isolation and not belonging can do to an individual's character. The absence of connections doesn't just cause change in behavior over time, it erodes a person's identity, creating a product that is just a reflection of desolation.